Welcome or welcome back. I'm going to try and make this video very short because I have a lot of books to get through, but I'm going to show you every single book I've read this year, starting with self-help books. Now I try and read a self-help book and a fiction book, at least one of each. First one, Diary of a CEO. This kind of goes hand in hand with Happy Sexy Millionaire by Steven Bartlett. Would definitely recommend these. Found them very inspiring. I think both of them kind of link together. I preferred this one personally, but I'd probably give these 3.5 stars, 4 stars. How to Be Confident by James Smith. Again, very insightful, very informative. Again, probably 3.5 stars, 4 stars. The next self-help book, if you're gonna read any of these books, please let it be this. What's Your Dream by Simon Squibb. Just ask yourself that question. What is your dream? Because I think a lot of people go through their whole lives without even considering that question. Definitely recommend this, 5 stars. And then we've got Mindset, which I got on TikTok Shop. I also got this one on TikTok Shop. Very informative, very insightful, as well as this one. These have no correlation, by the way. They're just, I got them both on TikTok Shop. I would definitely recommend this. I think it's very interesting. I think when I was reading it, a lot of things made sense. The author goes through the difference between having a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. This, How to Talk to Anyone, gives you tips and tricks and skills onto how to talk to anyone, basically. And this is the book that I'm reading at the minute, the self-help book I'm reading at the minute. I've only just started it, but it's called Moral Ambition, and I will read out what moral ambition means because I'm not quite through it enough to be able to summarize or give you like a full review. Moral ambition is the will to make the world a wildly better place, to devote your working life to the great challenges of our time. So on to fictional books, and then I'll get on to audiobooks. The Elsewhere Express, again, I haven't really started it, to be honest. I was just so mesmerized by how pretty it is. How pretty is that? That is literally the whole reason why I got the book. And even if you just open the book, I mean, look at that. And then it feels like you're literally going onto the Elsewhere Express. Now, I'm not really a fantasy girly, but I definitely think that this book is going to be fantasy, and it might change my opinion on the theme of or genre of fantasy. Raya is a lost soul going through the motions without a dream of her own. One night on her subway ride home, Raya's thoughts wander too far. She wakes on the Elsewhere Express, a magical train that offers its passengers a sense of purpose, peace and belonging. The journey is a chance for Raya to reimagine her life, but only if she finds her compartment before time runs out. Imagine this being a film as well, if it isn't already. On the subject of fantasy, I read this book. Now this is actually a sequel to an audiobook, but I picked this up purely just because it's got a cat on it, and that was enough to get me to read it. It literally says the second novel in the best-selling The Cat Who. So the first book is called The Cat Who Saved the Books. They are both linked in some way. Basically, the characters meet. I think there's like a 10-year difference between this story and the first one. Basically, a girl realizes that books are going missing in the local library. I nearly said cafe there. And then she follows this cat, or she follows this man, and then a cat leads her to this other place. 4 stars, and also the other one a 4-star rating. I read these books by Millie Johnson. I read this one first, which is called My One True North. Laurie and Pete should have never met, but fate has pushed them together for a reason. They basically both lost their partners on the same night. That's all I'm gonna say. And we see like both of their points of view throughout the whole book. Like one chapter is Laurie and the next chapter is Pete. You can kind of see what's gonna happen throughout the whole book, but yeah, I'd say that this is maybe a 3 stars just from my personal... I don't think I'm the target audience. I think it's more for like older people. I also read The Woman in the Middle, would also give this one a 3-star review. Shay is the woman in the middle. She is part of the sandwich generation, and the sandwich generation is the idea that like you're the one in the middle and you're kind of uncomfortable and kind of restricted, and it's about how she chooses or how she navigates through that. I would recommend these. I mean, they weren't my favourites. I wouldn't rush back to Millie Johnson's books if I'm being completely honest. Your Closest Friend, if you're gonna read any of these fictional books, read this one. Your Closest Friend, such a good book if you're into like psychological thrillers. I feel like I forget how much I like them. All I'm gonna say is keep your friends close and your enemies closer. That's literally what it says on the back. Again, this follows like the narrative of seeing one person's point of view and another person's point of view throughout the whole book. But yeah, definitely 5 stars, read it. Influenced by Anna Whitehouse. I think that this was the first book I read this year, and I bought it, I think that like start of last year. It's just been sat waiting for me to read it. It took me quite a while to get into it, but basically it's about a mum who is falling apart because she's just lost her job. Her husband barely acknowledges her and her daughter hates her. I mean, that's what it says here. I wouldn't go that far. Give this one 3.5 stars. The last book, physical book that I've read this year is Daydream. Again, I bought this book purely just because it's so pretty. Again, also follows a similar narrative point of view sense of one chapter being from one person's point of view and the second chapter being, the next chapter being through someone else's point of view. And again, you can definitely tell what's going on. The story starts with Hal breaking up with her boyfriend and then meeting someone else, and you can tell what's gonna happen. But yeah, it's very cute, very wholesome. I'd say 3.5 stars. So I write down every book that is on my TBR, so include the audiobooks. I also have this, which I bought on TikTok Shop. First audiobook I'm going to talk about, which is probably my favourite series, the Strawberry Patch Pancake House. Is that right? It's on the Dream Harbour collection. I'm really enjoying this series. I think that the next book after this one, if I'm correct, is a Christmassy one, so I'm gonna wait until Christmas and read it in order, or listen to the books in order. I'm so excited to talk about this next one. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Again, if you're into psychological thrillers and that kind of stuff, couldn't recommend this more. If you're gonna listen to any of these audiobooks or even read any of these books, let it be this one. It's very similar, I suppose, to Your Closest Friend, but I'd say it's better. If you're into Pretty Little Liars and that kind of vibe, definitely this. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, I would give not the pumpkin one, the Strawberry Patch House, I'd probably give that 4 stars. I don't know why it's missing 1 star. 4.5 stars maybe. Good Girl's Guide to Murder is definitely 5 stars. Night Watcher, again following that theme of Pretty Little Liars, psychological thrillers. I listened to this audiobook in an afternoon. I'd been out book shopping and then came back home to listen to this. 5 stars, so good. Editing me here, and I'm just remembering that I probably wouldn't give this one 5 stars. I would probably give it 4 stars, but it still was very good. Just because the ending is a little bit disappointing. There's a bit of a plot twist at the end. It's a bit like anticlimactic, but that's all I'm gonna say. Oh, I'm trying to jump on the hype of all this. Like every TikTok I'm seeing on Book Talk or like Bookgram I'm seeing is at least one Emily Henry book. Now I've tried to get onto the hype. I've watched people meet on vacation. I've watched that. I don't feel any hurry to read the book, but let me know. But I have listened to Great Big Beautiful Life. Now I would say, I think that's how you say it anyway, or is it just Great Beautiful Life? I'll say, I feel like it took me quite a while to get into this. You can tell what's going to happen throughout the book, but I did actually quite enjoy it. Probably say it's about 3 stars, three and a half maybe. I didn't think it was like anything amazing, and I really wish I could say something better. But the other Emily Henry book that I tried, well, I did finish this, but that was Funny Story. Now I've seen everyone and their mother hype about this. I didn't get it. I thought it was boring. I thought it was slow. Maybe I should just give it another go. But again, you can see what's gonna happen. Give that maybe 2.5 stars. 3 stars. No, not 3 stars, 2.5. Now, if we're going down the theme of talking about books that like I don't think deserve the hype, Better Than the Movies. Guys, I don't know why people love this book so much. I couldn't sit through it. I physically couldn't because the character was annoying. I don't know how she doesn't realise that this person's in love with her. Can't even remember the name of the people in it. I couldn't get into it. I listened to like the first maybe 5-10 minutes, if that, and then I had to skip to the end because I was just like, oh please, like I just couldn't. Maybe I'm just past this whole like romance. I feel like maybe if I was a bit younger, if I was like a teenager, like, and reading these, then maybe this would be different. I would have different opinions, but I'm sorry, I can't. I feel like I'm leaving this on such a negative note, but I'm actually listening to another audiobook at the minute as well, which is Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm not even that far through. I want to say I'm not even an hour through, but I'm really enjoying it. I feel like this video has been quite chaotic and I apologise for that, but I hope you enjoyed. Let me know any of your favourite books or books that are on your reading list of this year, books that I should read. Yeah. And if you want to see more book content, do let me know. Bye.